Hola, it's Sunday. And Twitch is having D-Live's having a problem.
Obviously.
I don't know, man. Restream still says it's sending data, so yeah, who knows? Hopefully it'll sync up.
We always trust that D-Live.
Yeah, D-Live would wake up. Everything else is working, so who knows? It happens. Oh, how's it going? How's everybody doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Just been for a jog. Yeah, went down the gym.
For a jog?
Yeah, went for a jog, went for a run, push-ups and all that.
Was there a video of that?
My New Year's resolution was to think about it. So that's what I've just been doing, thinking about it. It was in my imagination.
You mentally ran gymnastics and all that stuff. You didn't physically.
No, that's right.
Oh, come on. I was going to say, where's the video? We need some video evidence.
Well, I can't video me mine, but I will tell you this. I see an excellent video with actual statistics that says that anyone who smokes is statistically less likely to get COVID.
Serious?
No, honestly, that's what it said. So anyway, my New Year's resolution was to give up smoking, but I'll wait for the flu season to pass and then I'll give it up, because it literally says that, yeah. In fact, it wasn't statistically less likely to get COVID. It was statistically less likely to die from COVID if you smoke. And the doctor said, we don't know the reason why, other than it's blatantly obvious. And what they said was, we think it's because nicotine is an anti-inflammatory.
Well,
they said that's the only reason that they could come up with. And so the person on the video said, you're surely not telling me that smoking's good for you? And he said, no, definitely not. But he said, in this instance, we believe that nicotine. So that would suggest that if anyone is taking a form of nicotine, and don't forget, you've got to be very careful with nicotine because it is dangerous, it could have a positive effect.
Well, to that end, Eddie Dragon, you may have to wait quite a while if you're going to wait for the flu season to pass, because effectively the flu has been canceled. # cancel influenza A, influenza B.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Isn't it strange?
It's the damnedest thing, They introduce this man-made COVID business, via the Rothschild patents and that, from SARS-CoV-1 to SARS-CoV-2 with a little HIV thrown in the mix, a little wop babaloo bop, and next thing you know, damnedest thing. You don't even have to run down to your local CVS or Walgreens to get your shots anymore, folks. It's the damnedest thing, I tell you.
Oh, well, I absolutely agree, and everyone, I believe, should be, hailing this. It's really strange, I think, to you. How COVID has just been a miracle, really, if you think about it. How it is, all of these other things that we used to die from, we don't die from anymore, and it's weird. Because people with gunshots, even,
crashes,
they're just being regarded as COVID penetrations.
What's the name of that song, Soko? It used to be the Madonna sang, "Living in a Material World." We're now living in a COVID world.
Yeah.
Change the lyrics up a little bit. Living in a COVIDian world.
Wow, you got okay, everybody. That's extra. Breaking Spectre's going to sing today.
That's right. That's awesome. Worth some extra lemons. Oh wait,
you ain't getting no lemons.
Yeah, no lemons today.
I'll get some. Going on?
I'll get some maters.
What I'm gonna do is I guess I'm just gonna post the YouTube link in D-Live right now. There over there, because I don't. It's just not. It's still saying sending data. So.
So anyone watching on D-Live, can we also have, I know you do ice creams and lemons and all that, can you also send Southern Soko, Laura Soko, can you also send her a mushroom Swiss burger, please?
Oh my God. No, right now I'm kind of not knowing what's happened with that thing. I told Daddy before we started, I started feeling like nauseous, or I didn't even eat anything. I started feeling weird. And so I might be a little bit more quiet today. Reaching some huge things.
Yeah, those weren't just mushrooms, quote unquote. She had baked in.
I didn't eat
Know what
it.
I mean?
Again, I didn't eat it.
Oh, you didn't have to. It was just a mere making of the mushrooms. They released the spores and cast their magic spell on you.
Yeah, mushrooms do that.
Magic mushrooms.
Yeah, I had a magic mushroom once.
Oh, we're gonna go down this path today.
Listen, no, but I must say, it was recreational and medicinal
yes.
use only.
Please make sure you preface the audience with that. Make sure, hey, I only do it once in a while.
Yeah, I'll never live that one down.
That's right.
Let's go and have a look. Don't forget, people out there, don't forget to share. Sharing is caring. And if you can hit the thumbs up, that will be fantastic as well.
Well,
so all
except
you've got to do is hit the thumbs
COVID.
up and send it out. Why did they ban menthol cigarettes?
Yeah, except
I haven't
COVID,
got a
folks.
clue.
Make sure you don't share that. Make sure you properly social distance and put your mask on. Wink, wink.
Since you guys are talking about it, I'm gonna go ahead and share this. I think it's important for people to understand what I try to get on here and say all the time. I'm gonna borrow a scene from another YouTube channel, just to try and highlight what I mean about here in America and what they're spinning on the news versus reality. So I'm gonna share my audio, even though I'm not gonna share much of what this person says, but I'll let you hear his initial words. This is in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. Atlanta, Georgia is huge. It has the largest freaking airport here in freaking America. And I mean, it is huge.
Is it?
And
Right behind O'Hare.
So anyway, it's got a lot of people. It's democratically ran. Like they're trying to in the southern states, like here in Tennessee, Nashville, and Memphis, are ran by Democrats. The mayor, but the rest of the state's red. So anyway, this is today. There's a car show the first Sunday of every month in Atlanta, and it was packed. And I'm going to show you some of the people that were there.
It's crazy. I've never seen it this packed. I came back here to freaking park and hide. There used to be nothing going on back here. Now it's packed to the max. 2021 starting off crazy. This shit crazy. This almost hit me.
Oh,
What the freak?
It's a car show. They just come together. It's not like really a car show. It's like the community gets together the first Sunday, and this is how many people is packed. So I'm going to now look at all. By the way, the reason why I shared this is all the people without masks standing around without masks. No masks. There's 4 people with masks right there. No masks. So when I tell you guys, look, they're going to add, so I'm going to not give them a free ad, but when I tell people, listen to me, what they're pushing out here, that everybody's complying, everybody's getting screamed and yelled at for not wearing face masks. Look, this is Atlanta today. Today, you'll watch this guy. I'll fast forward it through a little bit more. That's him. He's not wearing a face mask, by the way. Just so everybody's clear, he's not either. Even though he did a video, I'm a little discouraged about. He did a video the other day where he was like saying everybody should just put one on and make everybody happy. Well, here he is without one on. So I find that hypocritical. No face masks over here. You find people with them on, of course, but I guarantee this crowd is half and half without them. Half and half without them. Again, this is Atlanta today, not last month, not last week, today. No mask over here. We're standing in crowds of people with no masks. This guy has no mask on. This dude has no mask on. This dude has no mask on. You get my point? Look at all these people with no face all the way over here. No masks. No mask over here. I mean, like it's half and half. And this is Atlanta. And I mean, in small town like Tennessee, I can speak. It's even more people without them on. But you don't hear this. Look at all these people over here. None. And these are young, healthy people. Nowhere. Dude right here. Atlanta. today. That's a badass car, by the way. I'll just say that. Very sweet car. But the point I'm trying to make is don't believe the freaking media. Now, wherever you live in the bigger city, East and West Coast, whatever it is. But again, Atlanta is very lefty as far as the rest of Georgia goes. It's about like Tennessee. There's pockets of like Nashville, and you have your love, and let's put dresses on men. You have that crowd, but like look, a pack of dudes, no mask, dude right here, no mask. That's about the representation, But if you were to listen to the media, these people are being screamed at and shamed. Look at this dude, and people are yelling at them. Look at this crowd, massive crowd of people walking amongst themselves. Some with them, some without. Whatever, it's your choice. But I mean, this is just a glimpse. And again, people, this is not small town South. This is flipping Atlanta today. Okay, sorry. Now I'm gonna shut up. Y'all continue on. I just think it's important to point that out. That the shit they're pushing in the news is a lie. As far as here in America, they're showing you what's happening in these bigger cities. America is a lot bigger than Chicago or Los Angeles or New York City.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me just show you. Let me show you something from mine. Actually, I won't just show that just yet. Did you see Scramble Fighters? Let's have a look. Right. So there is. Hang on. Let's
COVID.
Hang on. COVID cough. Right, hold up. Let me just show you this. Right, so I'm going to just share this with you. Yes, this is yesterday, and a number of people associated with let me just share it. A number of people associated with the English Press Association was showing people this. So let me just see if I can bring this up slightly more. And if I can, I'll move it over. I don't think I can. Hang on. No, it won't let me. But the basis of it is what you're actually seeing there is the police at Speaker's Corner in England, London, England, steaming into people. Again, arrested Piers Corbyn, there's his handcuffs, for literally just coming out and having a walk in the park. So there they are. There he is, Piers Corbyn, but there's many other people there. And as you can see, there's one of my favourites there, look, Robert Barnes. Explains a few things to people. And again, I'm just going to say this here. If you allow the government to break the law during an emergency, they will create emergencies to break the law. I think that's about right, don't you?
Yeah.
So, as you can see, yesterday was a very eventful day in London. I'm not sure about what happened today, but yesterday, certainly the police was being very brutal again for no reason other than they can. Oh, blimey. Who's that?
BP. Have you guys seen this yet?
No, go on.
Is it safe to play it? Do I need to break this up?
Oh, well, who is it from? No, I don't think he dings people.
Oh, wait, with JP. He did a piece called
I
"When
think
You
you're
Believe
fine.
All the Propaganda." Got the
Yeah, I
nice
think
sheet
you're
mask
fine.
on.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
let
you're
her play
fine.
through.
Matt.
Don't hug your children. Affection spreads infection.
911.
Yeah, I'd like to report my neighbor. No, they're not deceiving you. They're protecting you. Don't be a conspiracy theorist. Mask up. Always cover your face. It's a new normal. Cases are up. I know they said 2 weeks, but now it's just the new normal. Self-responsibility is basically terrorist activity. No, please, don't come any closer. You can't rig an election. That's not possible. Except in 2016. I don't believe that. That's a conspiracy theory. Yeah, the world's changing, but it's not a bad thing. It's a great reset. Freedom of choice? Oh, so in other words, you're saying you want the freedom to kill old people? I like breadlines because I got this, and now I can barely feed my family instead of not feeding them at all. Hey, cases are spiking. Could you put your masks on? Breadlines are just the new normal. Hey, can we just put the mask on? Singing kills people, so no more singing. It's just a new normal. Ellen Page? Never heard of her. Yeah, all the way up over your nose? Thank you. Being in poverty is how I help protect my fellow humans. It doesn't have any long-term studies, it messes with your DNA, and it's illegal to talk about any negative effects. You're crazy if you don't want one. Mask up. Small businesses are illegal. It's the new normal. Dude, just do what they say. Is that so hard? I literally will not give 1 ounce of thought to what you just said because it's a conspiracy theory. We have the strongest leaders you can trust. Getting together with friends is a super spreader event. Have you seen how many new cases there are today? Dude, no gatherings. It's just a new normal. You think hugging's safe, you conspiracy theorist? You need to be on AOC's blacklist. I'm glad they banned basketball. Rooms cause COVID. It's science. There's so many people not wearing a mask. It's like they're brainwashed into thinking they shouldn't be terrified. Bunch of Karens. Thank you for protecting me! Oh yeah, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Element. In my opinion, there's 2 things you need for...
All right, I think that's the gist of it. I think that's the commercial net that he has for his sponsor. That's Awake with JP. If you've not paid attention to him, he's still got about 1.6 million subscribers. Has not been kicked off of YouTube yet, but makes all the valid points and absolutely right. You know, at the end of the day, the face diaper does absolutely nothing for you. Fauci is a fraud. The whole thing is a fraud. The vaccines are fraudulent. And of course, I just covered some of that here this morning on the broadcast, if you followed me there, of what's been going on with AstraZeneca, by the way. There ties into the UK government. There ties into the Wellcome Trust. The ties into various aspects of eugenics and everything else. The very same folks. And guess who benefits out of that? Handsomely, folks. Guess who benefits handsomely out of that? None other than the very platform we're on, the YouTube and Google types through their Google investment arm. So yeah, there's that too. But hey, take Awake with JP's words there. That's all.
Thank you.
It's crazy.
Well, right. So this is one. We've just shown a few of these. There's definitely a mass, and I agree to a large extent with a massive dissent out there. But Craig Salmon Sawyer, it's just a mask. Wear it on the train. That's just a ride to compound. That's just a temporary result to a compound. That's just a temporary result. Then into the chamber. That's just a shower. It's just a mask. And then you've got Kermit in the masked as the frog sitting in boiling water.
Well, it's just a mask, folks. Nothing to see here. It's okay. Lull you to sleep. Control mechanism. Never mind the fact that the CO2 that your mouth exports out of its body and all the bacteria that goes with that, you now rebreathe and inject right back into your lungs. It's all good, folks. Nothing to see here. There you go. Lull to sleep now. Dee Dee, I don't know where this goes from here. How soon did the arrest begin of the Gates of Soroses, the Lord Malik's, and the like? When can we start rounding them up?
Well, obviously we got rather a large event going on Tuesday in Georgia, and then a large event going on January the 6th, Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing conflicting reports about what's going to happen there without going through the whole constitutional element of it. But it would be clear that the whole world is watching. And if they was going to then present evidence of external or any other influence on the election that was untoward, it would be an opportune time to do it. So if that was the case, and we're still being told, and tell me if I'm wrong, are there still 190,000 sealed indictments sitting there, or is that some sort of non-event?
It's up over 220, I think it was, as of the end of November. I haven't seen the December update yet. That's now 3 days in, but I suspect that we'll probably see, I don't know, I think the run rate has typically been anywhere from 5 to 6,500 a month, something of that nature. In addition, since October 2017. But to your point, yes, Georgia coming up. Heavy campaigning dollars flowing in through the Hollywood types, the super PACs and the Stacey Abrams slush funds and everything else. Mysteriously, one of the Republican candidates now had to be quarantined several days out from the election. You know, just magically had the old COVID test positive. I'm sure the PCR test was 100% effective. Wink, wink, if you know what I mean. And oh, by the way, Zuckerberg just couldn't help himself and had to shut down some pages, you know, just leading up to this, because Zuckerberg certainly doesn't want any bad information going out now, do we?
No.
So Zuckerberg, you know, and his typical self has to protect the people, of course. We can't let any of this disinformation go out now, can we? Thank you, Zuckerberg, my Lord and Savior. Sorry, folks, I have a little hint of cynicism today because, frankly, I'm tired of their BS. It's time for the heads to roll. It's time for these assholes to be picked up and put where they belong. Get
I
no.
absolutely agree. And there's more and more people now looking at the different elements. Let me see if I can find this one for you again, because I sent this to someone and we had a discussion about it. But let me see if I can find it. Hopefully it's on my screen as we speak. And if it's not, I'll have to go and find it from somewhere else. No, it's not on my screen as we speak. So does everyone remember what I actually showed people before, which was this structure in 2016 and before of the UK intelligence services? 2 of those people are dead. 4 of them are no longer in politics. Couple had to resign. And I absolutely believe that something is going to go on. And I believe some information this week is going to come out about the UK, or shall we say the British, interfering with the election. I don't think it is just to do with China. And I think there's some serious attacks on the American Constitution from the British. And I think hopefully we should be seeing that or some evidence of that on Wednesday. I still don't understand why certain documents have not been declassified.
Yeah, you would have thought by now if, you know, you remember shortly after election night, we saw that Trump's kid kicked out a tweet that says, hey, just declassify everything. Well, what's the only thing that we've really gotten? Well, just in the last week or so, we got some bit of declassified info saying that China has actually been the ones that have provided the funds, the dollars, the weapons of warfare, and some of the Far East countries to attack U.S. troops and everything else. Well, okay, fine and dandy. But what do we really need to see declassified? Just open a whole damn vault. At this point, there should be total transparency across the board, and yet that hasn't happened. That's not to say that it still cannot happen, but I think certainly a couple things that I know are on people's minds that typically happens toward the end of a presidency of a given president are the pardons, right? Obviously, we saw that kicked off with people like Flynn, regardless of the fact that he was innocent or not. It had to be done just for the sake of being done. We weren't going to get anywhere through the Just Us system that we have. It's total banana republic as it is right now. We don't have a justice system in this country. And that's never more apparent than what we've witnessed since November 3rd, with all the challenges in that. And basically, they're all holding the same narrative, throwing stuff out. And it's all the Soros acolytes, the DAs, the lawyers, the judges, and that Soros has instituted across the country that are all towing the line. They don't want us to have borders. They don't want us to have sovereignty. They want to have the UN justice wheeled in and supplanted over top of us, as they do with everything else. And that's the Klaus Schwab Great Reset system that they want to usher in. We talked a little bit about this on Wednesday during your show on what they have planned. And I have a feeling if the U.S. doesn't partake in said plans, that their plans might be just a little disrupted. And so I caution how they think that they're going to try and approach doing this if, for some ungodly reason, Biden were to get sworn in. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying we're not going to see all sorts of funky things happen between now and January 20th that are probably going to catch us by surprise. I'm just saying to be prepared that if for some ungodly reason that were to take place, you can guarantee that there's going to be a fight because these people are not going to get their way.
How many people do you think are going to turn up in DC? I know it's a difficult question to answer, but how many people do you know are going to DC, or how many people do you know are going to go to their state capital?
That's a tough read, really. I've seen some Facebook groups out there. I've also seen in the media where people like Muriel Bowser are trying to thwart any efforts for folks to go to DC, like shutting down hotels, shutting down restaurants, gas stations, not allowing porta potties and things of that nature to be wheeled in for any events and things of that nature. So it's going to be tough to gauge really until we actually see it play out here in a couple of days. I can only hope that we probably get a couple million. We'll see. I mean, they've got, what do they got? About 30 different folks in that are supposed to speak on the 6th. Something of that nature.
Yeah.
Well, this just broke, by the way, a little earlier today. I don't know if you've seen this, but I'll play this for you.
Sitting up on Summit, and one marked state trooper vehicle, 2 black SUVs, there's 3 state trooper vehicles escorted 4 Antifa shuttle buses right here front and center. There was actually 5 vehicles total. There was 3 up front, 2 in the back. They escorted right here, waited for them to get off their buses, and they had the state troopers unloaded and took their positions. Watch. There's that guy. He had his lights on. They were coming, and then there's the ones up front too. They escorted, and each one of those buses are labeled. They're all paid charter buses.
Look at that, bro.
Check this out, watch. Here's the black SUVs up front, and wait till you see who leads it.
Wow. They freaking brought damn Antifa here.
They escorted them here.
You've got to be.
Lights flashing and all.
You've got to be effing kidding me.
Lights flashing.
Patriots, are you guys watching this? You guys share this video, please. You've got to be kidding me. On video.
I watched him do it.
Hell no, bro.
Yeah, I saw that.
There's that.
So explain what was going on there.
They're out there rallying and they're talking about them busting in Antifa. We've seen them do it before where they'll put them on these charter buses and bring them into the cities to try and cause disruption. You know, they try to keep saying that Antifa's not organized. Oh, it's just a bunch of people that want to stamp out fashion, stuff like that. Yeah, except there's, look at the line of chartered buses, and then you're trying to tell me they had a police escort. You know, that helped them off the bus. And it's freaking, you know, you're talking about DC too, though.
So
Where go ahead.
I'll say this, and I said it before. I wouldn't go to DC unarmed, period. I don't care what sort of laws they have in place. I don't care what sort of statutes they have. Based on what they just did there, they're taking sides with a known terrorist group at this point.
Yeah.
They have made their choice.
Well, I don't disagree with that. And I just think to myself, I'm taking my shoes off. I just think it's fairly obvious what's going on. And especially where the mayor of DC has literally shut the city down. That you couldn't get any more, you know, if you like, undemocratic than that, really, to try and stop the people that voted. And I think they know that the crowds are going to be so large. I mean, we've looked in England at going back to Runnymede, and there's a few people asking me about it. I've been sent a few emails, by the way, to say that it's pretty soggy there. The main car park where we parked in before is all locked up, and it would be quite slippery. So I don't know whether it's a good idea to visit it. We'll have to do something because we've got to mark the occasion some way. But going back to that video again, I think it's a disgrace. It's obvious that it's organised. It was organised in London when we had Black Lives Matter and Antifa together, when they had uniforms, political uniforms, because they're now a registered political party in the UK.
Well,
Black
this is
Lives-
something that Mojo shared with me the other day. And I shared with this on Wednesday, I believe. But this is just the parking. This is what they're doing right now to the parking in DC. This is an app that you can download on your phone to find parking, because you know a lot of people come in, whatever. Look at the addresses: 600 New Hampshire Avenue, $11.95, $9.50, $17. Pay attention to those. How much this says. It's all going to be the same addresses when I click over.
Mm-hmm.
110, 220, 80, 150. Now I'm going to go back. Look, $110 is the first one. Over here, $12.
Really?
The next one's 17. Now it's 220 to park. And you tell me that's not trying to deter people from going? That's just the parking. Not much. And then I think the last thing she said to me was, one of the things she said to me is that she's closed down indoor, or she's closed down restaurants starting, ironically enough, the 6th. Guess what day this is going to be on? The 6th. So yeah, they're trying.
It was supposed to start 4th, 5th, and 6th in DC, from the reports that I read. So basically tomorrow through Wednesday.
Well, I'm going to show you these couple of, again, just to get back to the British and the problem with the British. I'm going to show you this on screen. Hopefully everyone can see this. Ambassador Johnson, no less, the person who obviously has ignored our petition for captive nation status, has written here on a tweet, and it was sent out today, January the 2nd, yesterday, I think. No two countries work as closely as the US and the UK. It's all based on trust. Well, the British have never stopped attacking you. So who are you, Ambassador Johnson? Because I think there is something stewardsy about that. And what I'm going to do now is take you to another image, and I'm going to play it for you. This is the flag that is being flown over 10 Downing Street as we speak. And it is they've taken down the Union Jack. There is no English flag. There is no Union Jack. which is the British flag. But take a guess at what flag is flying.
That's what we're trying to figure out. That's above 10 Downing Street. I've never seen that flag before in my life. What is that? Anyone know what that flag is? Up there.
Planet Earth.
Because that ain't been there. That's newly arrived. What is that flag?
New World Order flag, mate. Something like that.
Anyone know what this flag is? Flying above. Oh, United Nations, flying above 10 Downing Street. Where's the British flag gone?
So I hope you all got that. There it is. The gates of Downing Street. Why would I lie? Again, there it is. United Nations flag. The UN flag has replaced the Union Jack above 10 Downing Street. And that is video evidence of that exact situation. Give me a shout. Tell me what you think about that in the comments. And what do you think about that, fellow panelists?
Well, obviously, you know, these guys are moving ahead full speed, regardless of what happens with our election, regardless of what happens with COVID. We knew the COVID stuff has all been cover for their plans. Again, I would caution them, these World Economic Forum Davos types. Now, keep in mind, yes, they typically meet in Switzerland every January. This year has been postponed and moved back, I believe, to May, over to Singapore, the financial capital of the East. And that is when they will start to try and roll out what they want to do, if we allow it. And perhaps this is part of a PSYOP, whatever it is, after the UK has now seeded itself from the rest of the EU and all that business. I don't know. It's tough to say what exactly is going on there, DD.
Well, it certainly looks like they're going to carry on pushing with this. So, again, what I'm going to say to people is remember the article. And I'm sure someone's going to put it out there. If not, I'll go and find it for you. There was an article written by a guy over here, basically. I think you actually mentioned it on the show. You remember when you said, you know, I don't suppose you know this person. I actually do know him quite well. And he wrote an article and explained that the UN and the UN charters were to destroy the Bill of Rights, the English Bill of Rights, and the Constitution of England, and the American Constitution. It was particularly written take out certain elements of the American Constitution, which is no different, by the way, to what happened with the European Union when they put their constitution to a number of countries and it was turned down. They renamed it from the European Union Constitution to the Lisbon Treaty, and it was signed up by Brown. So Gordon Brown, who was obviously treasonous, just as treasonous may. In some cases worse. So what you're now actually seeing is the UN continuing to implement what's going on there. And if you go and read that article, if I can find it, I will.
Yeah, it was a Weston A. Price article on that I brought up on your show on Wednesday that I had covered a little bit the night before as part of the reset agenda, and Article 29 of the UN, parts 1, 2, and 3, where basically the UN now will grant you your rights, folks. Yes, that's right. UN has become God. They are all sovereign. They are all powerful, and they will now grant you your rights.
Yeah. Exactly that. And what they're actually doing is taking everything down. So if I can find that article, I can't find the article because it's not there. But if you've got it, just whack it out there if you have got the article. Oh, there you go. The Great Reset. That's the one. So it's being put out there at the moment. Let me just see if I can just throw it up there, and you'll all be able to see it. It is a great read, and I suggest that you go and have a read of it. WesternAprice.London. The Great Reset abolishes the US Constitution and the English Bill of Rights. Just go there, have a look at that and read through it, and then it gives you all the details of what they're doing, the parts of the UN charters and how they're being implemented to destroy our rights. It's like a massive version of the European Union, basically, where everyone is being sucked into it. So there it is. And all you've got to do is literally go over to that site. And don't forget, people, if you're going to read it, send it out to people and actually, you know, get it out there. It's had tens of thousands of views, but it's worth, it is worth sending it out to people. That's it.
Yeah, like I said, I covered it a little bit the night before on Wednesday when I hopped on with you and read a little bit of that Wednesday. So if you missed it, you can check that out on the show there as well. But that's their plans, folks. Unless we rise up and say, nah, we're not going to consent to this stuff. Open season on blue helmets on any soil whatsoever.
Well, I think you'll soon see what's going on out there.
Can I break up the stuff with something funny?
No, we want doom and gloom, please.
I've been trying to, like, that's my goal, and I've been talking about it for weeks, is trying to do stuff like more like remind people that, I mean, to smile. Okay, I'm going to show you this. I don't even care.
Are you going to put cartoons up now?
No, I don't even care if we get dinged. I'm going to give you generally the backstory because I can't show you all of it. But there's this YouTuber that, you know, like a lot of people have been locked down in COVID. He's bored. He does a lot of these really cool videos where he makes these high powerful like snowball machines, like looks like a water gun. He does snowballs anyway. So he got bored. This is a video from back in May, so hopefully I don't get anything from it. But I will show you. I have to share my sound. I'm going to show you the contestants. Here's the contestants. He makes a race. There's Rick, Marty, Frank. Fat Gus is actually phenomenal Gusette because it's a pregnant squirrel. He finds out later. But this dude in his backyard makes a what would you call it? An obstacle course because these squirrels keep getting in his bird feeders. And so he decides to make a game out of it. So he builds this really intricate thing for these squirrels to try and get the bird feed. And again, this is just a breakup kind of what's become. It's really cute though. Okay.
There are 4 contenders. Let's get back to.
So I have to mute it up. Because I just saw the counter on the bottom. I'm not giving them a free ad, but I want to show you what this guy does.
Actually doing better than his first attempt.
Look at this.
Just barely. This is the best because he's like, okay, I got this. Never mind. Well, maybe I know. I definitely don't. And this was the exact moment I realized I just might be outmatched here. Marty was watching Rick, and after a quick dip of his toes in the water, adopts his strategy right out of the gate. Oof, so close. But an excellent recovery. And Fat Gus, perhaps predictably, comes up a little short. Which brings us to the Maze of 1,000 Corridors, which, to be honest, they mastered this one pretty quickly. Here's a solid run from Fat Gus. And now for the Pitchfork Tumblers of Treachery. Marty was like, yeah, that's a hard pass. Fat Gus is just like, abort! Frank is just like, nope. Then he's like, wait a second. Still nope. Then Marty flies in real hot over the top. He did make it through, but that's partial credit as far as I'm concerned. And then here's Fat Gus with my favorite attempt by far. And then Frank shows no fear, which helps him pull off this near-flawless
I didn't
run.
even know there
And
were
finally,
certain
Smart
things
Rick
black
surgically weaves his way
squirrels
through,
until I moved
essentially
up to
untouched.
Michigan.
And I should mention that
I
the
didn't even
squirrels
know
are
there were
most
black
active from
squirrels.
6 to 10 a.m. So every morning, I've been getting up before the sunrise to
Yeah,
start
he
filming
talks about he gets up at
excursions.
6
We have the
so
world's
they don't
worst
get
guard
hurt.
dog.
And his dog
Thanks for the
pees
help,
on the
pal.
damn way.
Now back to the home wrecker.
What's
You can see Rick is
hilarious?
instinctively suspicious of this gold
He
digger,
sits
and
up
only
a
for a
stuffed
brief
animal
moment
squirrel
puts his
to
full weight
try
on the
and
platform. I told you he was smart.
that
His buddy
catapults
Marty,
the-
on the other
like,
hand,
drop- Okay, now I'm gonna get to the cute part.
reasons. Number one, doves were jumping from this height all the time, and any height,
Well, that's a
because they
squirrel jumping out
possible,
of
then
a
put their tail
skyscraper.
back to increase drag. They basically become to act as lets
Squirrel
his
get
guard down.
catapulted.
But just like all the other obstacles so far, after a day or two, they'd mastered it. In this case, even disregarding her offering of a fresh walnut.
See, she was supposed
Now
to,
on
that's
to
her
the Slinky
Jezebel.
Bridge of Deception, and this was the sleeper obstacle in my book. That is not a large gap, which they can easily jump, but having the Slinky there just threw them off somehow. You can see how much Frank is struggling here, and he's the brave one. And Rick only jumps
the next
when
part's
Marty
cute.
shows up for emotional support.
Freaking cute.
But like all the obstacles so far, after a day or two, they'd mastered it. Now on to our third to last obstacle, the tourist trap. And this one was just a freaking delight. A little peanut butter really did the trick here.
You got them to stick their head through a thing like you do at a tourist attraction. That's hilarious.
Now here comes Fat Gus, and I mean, how Fat Gus is this? He sees the camera and he's like, paint me like one of your French squirrels. Yeah? No? No takers? All right. Here's another classic Gus where he looks at the camera. Wait a second. Play that back. And freeze. Zoom. Enhance.
Do sports squirrels have nipples?
Well, turns out Fat
See what I do
Gus
with my
is
spare
not a
time.
dude. And he's pregnant. Which meant I was suddenly feeling real uncomfortable about all those weight comments. So after a bit of a pivot to smooth things over, we soldiered on to the quad steps of great elevation. Frank comes in rather confident, almost to his demise. But he pulls off the smooth recovery.
A guy did this, bored.
So
There's
after not much
squirrels
time
in
at
his
all, they were
backyard.
looking pretty good here. In fact, one morning I noticed Marty totally skipped the last step altogether, which I took as a challenge.
No.
And so I removed the middle step to
Here's
see
where he
what they
catapults squirrels.
They're
Okay?
such amazing jumpers, so I suppose the quick mastery here gave but dumb Frank. He'd already entered the course normally, and a foot jump is his best course of action. And Smart Rick was the first one to enter the course, so in the end, after about a week of effort, it was fitting he was the one to make it to the jackpot first.
Then they
And
run
he's
away.
so stoked, he apparently wants to run the whole course in reverse. In hindsight, we probably should have made the jackpot a little quieter. Here's Marty, as always, not far behind. Against him here because down below Fantastic Gus, ever the opportunist, comes through with a real stroke of brilliance. But pretty soon Marty comes back like, sucker! Rams. I got any
Yeah,
ideas?
he
40
talks
seconds.
about how he got
And
the
what fall
cat-
for mine? I turned
This
the
is the
pressure to only
catapult at the very
40%
end.
full
This red
power,
one
so the acceleration the
shoots
scroll would
him
feel
over
isn't
to
either the
soccer
home
net.
wrecker trapdoor or override button. Because as safe as it was, something about launching Fantastic Gus just
Yeah, he
didn't
didn't
feel
wanna
right.
launch the
Now what you're
pregnant
about to
squirrel.
see is going to look totally in control pretty much the whole time. Alright, now here's a second angle.
I'm sorry. They're not hurt, by the way. That's why
Also,
I can
even if you
laugh.
don't trust my calculations, I can assure you that the squirrels did not
Oh my
care.
God,
In both
so
launch
hilarious.
cases, two critical things he does.
When he launches that one and it goes into the net, and
His
he
head.
launches
That
another one
blows
and
my
actually
life,
lands
and
on
the
a
chicken
pole.
trick is with his arms. Upper body. This is bring your limbs better every day.
Talks
Here's
about
this
the
tells a
cat.
different
Here,
story.
what? Look,
In that amount of
it
time,
goes
he's already
upside
made a
down
slight lateral push
and
in that
lands on
direction.
this pole.
If you want to sell
Let somebody
online,
get monetized on YouTube.
make sure you stand out. Go to Wix.
Watch this thing.
And
Look,
locked his
lands
landing
right there on that
target with his
pole.
head.
That is
We know
nuts.
from the previous clip he can rotate his body
you
to
didn't
any
know,
orientation,
here's the
but he
gist of it.
doesn't in this
I
case.
find that I only share that to remind people that there are people in the world doing really cute things. So again, please remember too, if you watch enough about politics, to go watch something like heartwarming and just like make sure you like, I don't know, makes you feel good inside instead of all the negative crap that we see all the time.
I think he's
So
the same guy here before Christmas released a video too about all these package stealers and that. I don't know if you saw that one. Basically put dummy packages out near people's apartments and stuff and called them like I don't know, it was like iPod earbuds or some goofy thing. And it was actually a pretty neat deal. He's actually onto his second phase of design on that thing. And it's a decoy box, and it had cell phone cameras built in. So as soon as they pulled the thing up and realized it's not what it was, flashing lights came on, says this thing, it starts a countdown, and then it also sprays out fart spray and pushes a bunch of glitter out on them so they're busted. I mean, this thing was fantastic. And apparently...
Yeah, the porch pirate guy.
Yeah.
He blew up in their face. This is the guy.
They tracked packages via GPS around, I forget what city it was. They could map the whole thing out that they chased this package until they heard gunshots or something like that. And he says a couple of these have actually gone international. And he says he's going to have an update to the video, I think, because they chase some of these pirates down as well. So I thought that was pretty ingenious.
I just shared the link out in Twitch and YouTube, so you can watch him. He is that guy, because if you pull up his content, one of the first things it shows you apparently is what you're talking about. This is his channel. Let me undo the sound so I don't deafen you guys. But look, the first one is Glitter Bomb 3.0 versus Porch Pirates.
Yep, that's the one. When people get hit with the stink spray and that, it's pretty funny.
He made it on to YouTube Rewind. I did watch that Mr. Beast put out that YouTube didn't do. He did himself. But it tells you a lot about YouTube, because everybody in that Rewind, except for like a couple of like skimmed past his face, Philip DeFranco, was all gamers, all YouTube gamers. So, it's like there's nobody else on YouTube but people that stream games. But there's this guy who does some really cool stuff. Yeah, they did that squirrel obstacle course. She's did this thing. I'll show you without sharing audio what Breaking's talking about. Hang on, I'll share a little bit of audio. I don't think you'll hit me.
What he doesn't know is that this is the third generation of a new and improved custom-built bait package that's recording him on 4 different phones and just released a pound of the world's This guy stole my package from a porch, and he's about to open it in his house. Hello. But what he doesn't know is that this is the third generation of a new and improved custom-built bait package that's recording him on 4 different phones and just released a pound of the world's finest glitter, along with some other nasty surprises. But to understand how we got here, we first have to go back in time a bit. Because that's when this couple stole a package from my porch. And even with the video footage, the police wouldn't do anything, so I vowed to use my engineering skills to go full Home Alone on these punks. Not just to avenge my package, but as a tribute to the 2 million packages that are stolen across America every year. And because packages are taken most in December, for the 3rd year now, it's sort of become a Christmas-time tradition for me to do my very small part to encourage future would-be porch pirates to choose a different profession in just the most fabulous way possible. So before we see how this year's version fares in the wild, I'm going to first walk you through all the upgrades my buddy Sean and I have been incorporating into this box over the past year.
It gives you an idea what this guy does. But it's worth, again, and I'll just say this for the sake of your heart and your mind, take those breaks. I've tried to and I'll reiterate again. I'll say it's frustrating because that's a little strong, but I do try to do things here. I tried to do something like this a while back. If y'all remember when we did the giveaway, and I do try to get people's opinions about what we can do here. It doesn't even have to be political. It can be covering whatever. And I went and made a Reddit page 4 days ago. Look how many posts there are. That would be 0. So when people try to get your attention and say, hey, will you cover this? Will you do that? And then you go try to make some, okay, well, here, because it gets lost in chat. That's the reality of it. When you're trying to do a show and you're trying to focus on your next thing or bringing up what you want to bring up or, whatever's happening when you're on air, it's hard to catch them all. So I made that, and then nobody's posting on it.
I want to address something in chat. I just saw John Pierce come up and say, this sounds like we are giving up. No, that isn't the case at all. You got to remember, this fight is long. It's enduring. You do need some mental breaks periodically. You can't always stay in the cut, as it were. You do have to periodically get outside, turn the things off, get out, get some fresh air, enjoy nature, that sort of thing, and kind of recalibrate yourself periodically. That's all we're doing here today. Just to take perhaps a moment break as we get back into the cut here for what is going to happen this week, whatever it may be. We could sit and pontificate and come up with all sorts of different scenarios that could go down. We really don't know at the end of the day, because from a constitutional standpoint, there are many things that can be done and we don't know based on the players at hand which direction they're going to go. And so basically we're just kind of in a wait and see, twiddle the thumbs type mode until said time. And
Yeah,
then things are going to become readily apparent come January 6th.
My point in doing this is like, you have to take a mental break from seeing so much negativity. It is not good for your soul. It's not. You start to think in your mind that that's all that's in the world is, evil people that want to do you wrong. When if you step outside your door, you'll see your neighbor and you're like, oh yeah, we get along. It's just, to me, it's just good to give your mind a break from like constantly pelting it with the negativity. And remember that there are some really good people in this world. We actually make up the majority of it. I think the majority of the world is full of great people. I think there's just some really sick and twisted people that pull the strings. So that's all. Just reminding yourself that,
Can everyone?
Can I
I agree. Can everyone see this on the screen? This one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is one that made me laugh. It's a dog watching horse racing.
His legs.
That is funny, isn't it?
It's cute. It's cute.
I don't think I've ever seen a dog jump like that before.
Yeah. But I just want everybody, I don't know, I just want everybody to be mentally healthy, and have their heart intact. Because it is, listen, I've been in this, and Daddy, you're breaking a both tell you since the beginning. And I have tried everything that I can to try and help people or do what I can. But there are points when I have got to, like, I don't care if it's me watching somebody play a game or watching a squirrel optical course or whatever it is. Like, I've got to push away from it, because you will suffer from something called burnout, and that's not good either. It's just a reminder that there's some really great people doing some really funny and cool stuff, and just to check in on those people every once in a while.
Yeah,
That's kind of the gist of it.
And before long, YouTube will only be for gamers, do-it-yourself videos, and cat videos anyway. So any political stuff will be on all the other platforms anyway.
Yeah. I see a great video today as well, and I've just tried to find it on Twitter, but I can't find it. And it's a woman. She's got a donkey, and she's playing with its ears and massaging its ears, and this thing just put his head on her shoulder and going, ooh. It was just funny what she did. Anyway, no, I agree that you do need to chill out every now and again. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, and I do agree with that. It's just there's so much going on, and especially of late, and then everyone being under all this nonsense pressure that we've got from these people. So we just need to carry on. Someone has asked me a question, evidently, in reference to the plaque that has been sent out to the United States. The answer is, it is with Caustic, Chameleon. We have tried, I have tried, Caustic has tried to contact a number of senators, but none of them are coming back to us. And I think it's the amount of everything that's going on. And when you look on Twitter, there's people actually saying, I've tried to contact my senator, this is happening, that's happening, all the emails are being rejected. So there's obviously something going on in the background. You wouldn't get it. But we are going to get it to him.
All right.
That's the answer.
Well, we're about an hour into this. Let's take a quick buzz through what the Anons are digging on this afternoon to kind of bring things home a bit with all the chaos going on. When in doubt, call it COVID. Trump accuses CDC of inflating figures as U.S. passes 20 million coronavirus cases. All about the cases, folks. You know, the fake PCR tests that are largely 90% incorrect and will give you false positives. And of course, you don't have to look any further than many counties and their respective death certificates. Is it a matter of dying of or from COVID? That is the question. Humans of the Great Reset, what the future might look like in 2021 if the controlling elites have their way. I think that Weston A. Price article certainly gives a little bit of a look-see ahead. I've certainly been covering it on my channel as well. Probably got a lot more to say. But we're going to stop it dead cold in its tracks. Possible Biden-Harris withdrawal? That's interesting. We'll see if that plays out. Maybe wishful thinking. I don't know. A lawyer for Reagan, Bush argues that Barack Obama should be Attorney General in Biden administration. Oh, that would be absolutely fantastic. Liberal hack Chuck Todd calls GOP Senator Johnson an arsonist for challenging election fraud. Oh, hey, Chuck. Remember 3 times over the last 10 years or so, 20 years, the Dems did exactly the same thing? A-hole. Top U.S. official says growing body of evidence shows COVID-19 leaked from Chinese lab. Well, gee, Mr. Obvious, that's only about 11 months late from when it was first broke. Those of us who were in the know clear back in January that knew all this business had their Twitter accounts suspended and restored 6 months later. But hey, you know, a little late to the party. 11 Republicans joining Cruz in opposing certification. Well, no, I tend to disagree with that because it was actually Hawley that came out first, and then Cruz and I think Rand Paul were kind of, hey guys, where you at? And finally Cruz decided to step up. So yes, there are Republicans on the Senate side who are going to challenge, as well as some 100 or 140, give or take-ish, on the House side. Jake Tapper slams Republicans challenging Biden electors. Sedition, caucus, bloodless coup, traitors. Hey, Jake Tapper, F off. We know your ilk. Go fly a kite, dude. Republican Senators Toomey, Sass, Murkowski, and Romney are the only Republican senators against plan on January 6th to challenge election. Gee, shocker there. The biggest 4 cowards in GOP. And of course, anybody that knows anything about Romney and his ties through the old Bain capital and stuff actually goes right on through Ukraine. Ponderous. Heartbreaking tragedies reported after taking COVID vaccine. California has worst virus spread in the U.S. And of course, yes, I think we're going to see a lot more in the coming weeks and days of folks contesting getting the vaccine, the frontline workers. Again, this 95% efficacy business, fake numbers, faked everything, just like everything else. And if you truly know what is going on with not only the vaccine, which I covered here on this morning's show, who the players are behind the scenes, yeah, it should give every damn person pause. I don't care if you're Dem, Republican, whatever. It absolutely should when I start talking eugenics and the things that Gavi and the Gates Foundation and everything else have done, are using folks in South Asia, India, and South Africa as guinea pigs, and what has happened with every other stinking vaccine. And oh, by the way, never mind the fact that the AstraZeneca vaccine is supposed to be non-profit, but hey, behind the scenes, they're milking the profits left and right. And oh, never mind the fact that, hey, guess what, folks? This is going to be a seasonal thing, just like the flu vaccine used to be, which means enjoy your COVID-19 this year, and it may only last a couple, 2-3 months, and next year you get to do COVID-20 and 21, and they'll just keep raking in the profits till they get to their $50 billion in profits net across all of Big Pharma by 2025. Look it up, folks. China oil majors may face U.S. delisting after telcos cut. So yes, obviously there's efforts to get rid of some of these Chinese fronts off of the stock exchange. That continues. Onion link, learn the exits. All right. At Code Monkey Z, is Carter Jones a boyfriend of Jordan Fuchs? However you say that. So I thought I saw somewhere too that POTUS has been retweeting a lot of Code Monkey here today as well. I've not paid a lot of attention, obviously not on Twitter, so perhaps maybe you guys can fill us in. One click to contact them all. Not sure what that's all about, but anyway, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Yes, obviously keep that on the forefront. The criminal who blows its own cover, fake PCR tests. Well, yes, absolutely. We've known that for quite some time. We know it. The guy who invented that said that this thing is not for diagnostics, but yet here we are. Hold the line. All right, Biden's inaugural parade has been canceled. Construction crews are taking down parade stands that would have been used for the inauguration. The claim, due to COVID, but we all know the real reason. A 6-person team briefed hundreds of state senators on election irregularities. So we'll see where this goes if Cruz and Company's proposal actually works its way through this 10-day traipse through all the irregularities, the body of evidence, and see what comes of that. The 117th Congress of the United States of America begins at noon today, and I saw some folks posting that they were looking to elect the speakership. I don't know whether or not Pelosi is actually wielding the gavel still or not. I knew that was going to be potentially contested. At News Politics. P.S. Any legit news source who'd like it. My scoop is based on emails sent to National Capital Region military from the Presidential Inauguration Committee telling them the parade was canceled and their participation would not be required. DM me. All right, so a little extra color around that. DJT, Kiss of Death. Wait for Ron's Twitter account to get taken down? That'll be interesting. March for Trump site will be at the Ellipse in the President's Park. So I presume that means on the 6th. Mystery is Chinese billionaire Jack Ma disappears from his own reality show after criticizing regime. Previous bread. Yeah, obviously, if you've paid attention as to what has been going on in China, basically the CCP has shut down Jack Ma's efforts to spin up Ant, which is yet another company that he has under his control. So yeah, just remember, folks, you go into China, they just disappear some folks periodically, you know. Michael R. Sherwin is the acting United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, July 21st, 2020. So I'm not sure what is going on there, unless perhaps they're talking about potential charges against somebody like Mayor Muriel Bowser or something along those lines, not sure. And last but not least, says, I believe this is confirmation, ladies and gentlemen, whatever that is. So that's a quick spin through what the Anons are digging on the boards this afternoon prior to showtime on this now, the 3rd day of January.
I need to play this. Somebody in chat, I'm sorry I forgot your name. Where are you at? I'm trying to scroll up and find you. Maybe gone too far. They posted a comment. What about the leaked audio of POTUS? Do you guys know about that? About supposedly call of him in Georgia?
Calling who? Brian Kemp or Raffensperger or who?
The
Governor?
The Secretary of State.
Okay, so that's Raffensperger.
Have you heard it?
I was not aware. What is it
We're going to
pertaining
see what
to?
we think about this. I want y'all to listen and see what you think about this. The only thing I don't like is when he keeps saying they're not going to like what you did to the president. Well, he's the president. You know, it's talking about yourself in the third person word, but I want y'all to listen to this and tell me what you think. And whoever, if you are out in chat, I'm so sorry. You post back out there if one of y'all see it. You know, this is for you that asked.
We have won this election in Georgia based on all of this. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, Brad. You know, I mean, having a correct, the people of Georgia are angry. And these numbers are going to be repeated on Monday night, along with others that we're going to have by that time, which are much more substantial even. And the people of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, you know, that you've recalculated.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
Now, Do you think it's possible that they shredded ballots in Fulton County? Because that's what the rumor is. And also that Dominion took out machines. That Dominion is really moving fast to get rid of their machinery. Do you know anything about that? Because that's illegal.
This is Ryan Germany. No, Dominion has not moved any machinery out of Fulton County. We're having.
Well, but have they moved? Have they moved the inner parts of the machines and replaced them with other parts?
No.
You sure, Ryan?
I'm sure.
You should want to have an accurate election. And you're a Republican.
We believe that we do have an accurate election.
No, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have. Not even close. You're off by hundreds of thousands of votes. You know what they did, and you're not reporting it. That's a criminal offense. And you can't let that happen. That's a big risk to you and to Ryan, your lawyer. That's a big risk. But they are shredding ballots, in my opinion, based on what I've heard, and they are removing machinery, and they're moving it as fast as they can, both of which are criminal fines, and you can't let it happen, and you are letting it happen. I'm notifying you that you're letting it happen. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state. So tell me, Brad, what are we going to do? We won the election, and it's not fair to take it away from us like this. And it's going to be very costly in many ways. And I think you have to say that you're going to re-examine it, and you can re-examine it, but re-examine it with people that want to find answers, not people that don't want to find answers. For instance, I'm hearing Ryan, and he's probably, I'm sure, a great lawyer and everything, but he's making statements about those ballots that he doesn't know. But he's making them with such, he did make them with surety, but now I think he's less sure, because the answer is they all went to Biden. And that alone wins us the election by a lot. So.
Mr. President, you have people that submit information, and we have our people that submit information, and then it comes before the court, and the court then has to make a determination. We have to stand by our numbers. We believe our numbers are right.
Well, under law, you're not allowed to give faulty election results, okay? You're not allowed to do that, and that's what you've done. This is a faulty election result. And honestly, this should go very fast. You should meet tomorrow, because you have a big election coming up, and because of what you've done to the president, the people of Georgia know that this was a scam. And because of what you've done to the president, a lot of people aren't going out to vote. And a lot of Republicans are going to vote negative because they hate what you did to the president, okay? They hate it. And they're going to vote. And if you would be respected, really respected, if this thing could be straightened out before the election. You have a big election coming up on Tuesday.
Well, there you have it. To whoever did that out in chat. That's what I found on it, but it was just an FYI for transparency. It looks like it was chopped and edited, and I think they tried to. This came from Sleuth Media, who posted it.
Okay, I thought I saw the WP up in the corner or something. So
it probably was, but that's the only thing I could find that they wanted to, and I hadn't heard about it, so I was looking for it as you guys were talking. But I mean, as you noticed, he said, "I'm telling you, you didn't run a legal election," and he's like it's gonna be costly. So Georgia's a shit show.
And when POTUS says it's going to be costly, he's not talking, he's telling them it's going to be costly to you, because the red line has been crossed. He's given them ample opportunities. We had the Red Line Diner 12 tweets or posts or whatever by Scavino. We've had POTUS pointing to the red stripe on the flag. This is yet, hey, guys, I'm giving you one last chance to turn around from your wicked ways. And they're going to try, they think in their hubris and their arrogance that they're going to see this thing through. And it's just not going to be so. These guys are in bed with China. Pompeo knows that. They've got the list of every single governor, every single politician that runs in the thousands across the country, still being translated in some cases, of all the names that are on that list. Traitors. Every last one.
Well, he's giving them the once over. Like, I mean, that just tells you that I think that their intentions was to leak it to try and highlight the point where he said he needed 11,000 votes and saying like that certain specific number. But as everything that they do, it backfires because all that did was show that the president is calling these people saying, you know, what you're doing is a scam.
Yeah, and the people know that. I mean, it's well documented at this point. I mean, there's a reason why since November 3rd, I've been maintaining my own personal archives, to which now I'm sitting close to about 5,500 articles across the board for all these swing states. Georgia, obviously, in the last couple weeks, just because the runoff election has picked up a lot of stuff going on there. And then, of course, this past week, we saw what happened with Pulitzer giving his demonstration. He says, I don't care about the machines, folks. I really don't. I want the piece of paper. I can prove to you with just the physical piece of paper where the fraud lies. And the fact that these things were printed perhaps in China and sent across or whatever, and how the technology has to be able to physically read the technology of the stinking piece of paper. They got them dead to rights all across the board. And again, it's their arrogance. It's their hubris. They're thinking they got the cat in the bag for this thing, that they're going to try and steal this. And their handlers are saying, well, we're going to promise you some extra dollars, or there's going to be more China business pumped in. We'll shovel more into the coffers for you. Well, they've got you dead to rights all across the board, sunshine. Not going to be well for you when this thing goes down.
And I just say, because there's a few people asking out there, whether I'm back on my YouTube channel, the Full English Show, Daddy Dragon channel, on Monday. The answer is no, because I'm still in YouTube jail as such. But I will be on the backup channel. And if anyone wants to know where that is, what I'm going to do is, let me just show you where the LinkedIn thing is. Well, not LinkedIn. This is the link tree. This has got everything on it, yeah? So do apologise for just jumping in here and doing this, but the backup channel's on there. That is where I'm going to be Monday night, and D-Live, and Facebook, and a number of other channels, just to let you know. So that was two. I think it was Gary John. I'm not sure who asked me the question there. And just to let you know that link there will take you, and if you bookmark that, it means you can always find me wherever I am. So if they take one account down, then just try one of the others and I'll be up there doing it. DD, looking forward to it. Get your channel back. Yeah, but at the end of the day, remember, YouTube, unless something serious happens with the Penal Code 230, they remove it, they do something with it. They got 3 strikes on YouTube, kicked me off for 3 months. It's a lifetime. Well, I've been told that my account's going to be completely removed if I get another strike. So that'll be it. It'll be gone.
Well, and that's why you're seeing a lot of these other platforms get spun up too. You know, we have a lot of options now that we stream to. You have a lot of options that you can upload to. Not all are created equal, obviously. Rumble, there ties in with Parler, the Bongino types, and that is it controlled opposition? Who knows? But there are plenty of other platforms out there as well, and we're going to use them to our avail, including Gab TV that just in the last couple of weeks has spun up. Which, by the way, I'll do a shameless plug, and no, I'm not endorsed by Gab or anything. I am over on Gab, but I will say that Torba and company have done a excellent job of getting things up and ready and getting their platform ready for such a time as when POTUS may have to find alternative platforms. And they spun up Gab TV, and just since they've done that in the last 2 weeks, they've already used up about 40% of their server space. So they're going to be expanding rapidly for the folks in the content creators net over there. So get over there if you like the platform, get aboard, make donations, whatever you got to do. They are totally funded by you, the folks in that who participate on the platform. That's all.
Thank you. I'm trying to find something. Someone has asked your question, and I haven't got an answer to what's being asked. I can only guess at the question. So someone in chat has asked, "What, DD? Why are Australian," and this is Gavin, by the way, DD, why are Australian and Canadian navies sailing towards England? Well, first of all, I didn't know they was, but that could be anything. That could be Australian and Canadian navies coming to the assistance of the Royal Navy with reference to what's going on in the Channel at the moment, because as far as I'm aware, that the British government just issued an instruction that all the and I don't know too much about this, the factory trawlers are now banned from the English Channel, and it could be if those I don't know what they are. If you want to try and put a link out there, I'll give you a clue to where you've read that story. I'll go have a look at it. But if that was my first impression, knowing nothing about it whatsoever, and just answering your question, what I do know is that there are currently issues in the English Channel with the European Union. Currently, 4 Royal Navy destroyers have been pushed out into the Channel. The EU has been told, do not use factory, large-scale trawlers in the English Channel, end of. And it may be that the Canadian Navy and the Australian Navy are stepping in with assistance to a Commonwealth country, which is obviously what we are, whether it be England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland. We're the UK as a state, isn't a nation, it's a state, could have asked for assistance. I don't know is the answer, but that's my guess if that is happening. End.
I'll show you a couple things happening. This happened. Senator Jeff Flake said, "Today I'm happy to announce his run for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination. Hashtag swagger." I think this is hilarious. It says Biden couldn't get 50 people to see him even before COVID, lost all 27 to 27 House toss-ups, lost 18 of 19 of the bellwether counties, lost Ohio, Florida, and Iowa, won a record low 70% of counties, and had less Black and Hispanic support, but we are to believe he shattered the popular vote. And then it was this meme, which I find is quite funny, comical. Obama, Trump, Biden, and it shows his little circles. But yeah, he won the popular vote. So that happened. And then this is pretty funny, but I got to share my audio for it. I don't know if they did this in an airport. You know, people would go over the intercom. It says, "So someone just paged Stop the Steal in the San Diego airport." This is from the first.
Airport paging, airport paging. Will stop the steal. Please meet your party at gate 45. Again, stop the steal. Please meet your party at gate 45.
That's pretty incredible. Stop the steal.
Stop the steal at gate 45. I mean, that's hilarious. And then if you're in Texas, this came out. Dallas police will no longer respond to stolen cars, criminal mischief, reckless damage, runaway kids, and child custody escalations, among other offenses. A complete surrender to the attack on policing. Good luck, BD. Here's the memorandum from the 1st, starting the 4th. Things that police won't respond to. Attempted, that's unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, basically car theft. BMV, auto accessory. That's I can't remember. It's this motor vehicle. I have to look at
motor vehicle, isn't it?
I don't know. Something tells me it's not, but I don't know. Probably something similar to it, I would assume. Credit and debit card abuse, criminal mischief, graffiti, harassment of electronic comm device, identity theft, lost property, reckless damage, runaway, want to relocate or interface with child custody when between people having custody complaints. Now, what they want people to do is go online, and the police will file a report with them across the interwebs. So no police officer, if somebody steals your car, you're shit out of luck. I see them right now. They're on 2nd and 4th. They're rolling down the road in my black BMW. Listen, get online. Get online and email us. I see my car right now. Get online and email us. This is another one. That's pretty interesting. 2012 to 2019. These are the headlines. Hospitals full to bursting, bed shortages, hospitals scramble to prevent crisis, and NHS toughest ever winter. More patients overstretched doctors and I mean, you see a trend. Hospital bed occupancy rates are record highs. This is when the flu still existed, apparently. Hospitals in England told to put operations on hold to free up beds. That's 2016. NHS bosses sound alarm over hospital already running over 99% capacity. 2017. You see any fear tactics? 2019 hospital beds at record low in England as NHS struggles with demand. That says a record low. I don't know if that was a bit hospital beds at record low. Oh, like no, that means they're full. Okay. Keep up with demand. So yeah, it's all about the hospitals being overfilled from 2012 to now this year. So anybody want to see a narrative? Anybody? And then look at all the videos coming out proving that. Oh, this is hilarious. I'm showing this. I tried to get this show the other day too. This is freaking hilarious. I'm sorry, but it's damn. This dude's funny. If you have Twitter, follow Steve Inman on Twitter. I'm laughing my ass off.
Well, as you can see, Brandy Tifa is usually used to working the streets at this time of night, but now she's trying to work the freeways, or she's violently protesting and standing in the way of this car, and they're probably trying to get home to stovetop stuffing, and oh my God, a bystander throws a big old cone at her dome at the conehead Brandy Tifa herself. You can see right here, she's just standing in the way, and these people are trying to get home to their stovetop stuffing as usual, and booyah! Right to the cranium. And let's take a closer look with the ludicrous cam.
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out.
Well, as you can, by the way, because I feel the need to do this every time I do something on YouTube, and since we're on YouTube today, let me go ahead and give my evidence for why you can get off my ass, YouTube. I do not want these people picked on. That is not the purpose of me doing this at all. This is not my intentions. But if you want to come for me for playing a video clip of a song, let me introduce you to this YouTube channel. Half and J. Great people. Respond to videos, music videos. Here's the ad in the front of their video. Let me skip that ad, YouTube.
What it do?
There they are.
Half and J family.
Here's them responding to a music video. Plays the entire song for about a minute. No, they're not talking
October
through it.
9th, 1993.
I don't have to keep going, do I? I can play this for a minute where they don't say a word. This is all. Go check them out. Go check see if I'm lying. You can scan up to about 6 minutes in. There'll be another ad. So get off my ass, YouTube. Thank you. That's all I needed to do. I swear I feel like I have to do that. If you want to see what I'm talking about by my evidence, here I'll quickly share this with you. No, I'm not, because I'll get kicked off of that and I need it for my production place. Let's just say I have several of them time-stamped with commercials where they're playing over a minute, minute and a half of music videos and they're monetized. So again, last time, YouTube, get off our ass. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Oh, nobody's got anything to say. I'll stun you into silence.
Carry on. Go on. You just carry on. You're doing a
No, I have to do that. Why? I think that's one of the reasons why we're still up. Is because I do that every show we do. If I'm going to do something where I could just feel them in the back of my head going, we're going to strike you. We're going to take you down. I always have something on the side going, okay, well, I've got about 25 other YouTube channels that I'll come smack you upside the head with.
China, pause for thought. The first one is the announcement by Prime Minister Scott Morrison of a $1.1 billion upgrade to the Royal Australian Air Force Base at...
What the hell?
Alrighty.
Wow. His computer's talking this. But that's it. That's all I wanted. I'm serious. I feel like I have to flip and do it. And if anybody out there has a YouTube channel, let me just suggest you do the same thing.
I see a lot of folks asking out there, oh, you can use our DLive channel too. Yeah, it didn't fire over here at the start, and because of the platform we use behind the scenes and that to make everything stream out, you don't have the ability to turn it on and off again just to make sure everything goes through. So unfortunately, we would have had to restart the whole broadcast in order to get DLive to come up today, at least. Not to say we won't be there any other day, but nonetheless.
Show you what we're talking about. See, Twitch online. YouTube online. DLive still says it's sending data, and we've been going for an hour and a half. Periscope online, which they're going away the March 31st, but DLive is not sending it out. It's not sending the data for whatever reason.
It happens periodically.
Yeah, it does. Not very often, but it does happen.
Well, that's all I got for today.
That's all I got. I think, Daddy, you got anything else? Oh, and Pelosi secures another term as speaker. Hip, hip, freaking hooray.
Really?
Delusional.
Oh, yeah.
Why does it say provisional? I am going to show a couple of things. Hang on 2 seconds. And I have to show this because it's really important. And I'm trying to skip the ads on it. What I'm going to do is show the screen and hopefully people will go. So I'm going to finish with this, and it is a positive. Does anyone understand and know what's been going on? Going pear-shaped on me severely. Didn't like that. Right. On your screen as we speak is a particular video, right? And the reason why I want people to watch it, it's all about vitamin D. And this is a conversation between an expert in vitamin D, Professor Roger Seaholt, MD, and this guy on the left, who I can't remember his name, but it was fantastic. Now, there's a couple of things I'm going to say to you. First of all, if there's anyone out there in the audience, and I'm going to go from the highest level of who this affects and why it affects them badly, and what they're suggesting is it's a correlation there. They can't say it's causation, but they can say there is definitely a statistical correlation, right? Black people that live in and if you go and have a look at this video, they explain it in detail. So black people living in this environment, meaning England or Scotland, even worse, or some northern parts of Europe, further north in Europe, because of the pigmentation of their skin, they can't convert enough vitamin D, right? And these guys talk about it. This is just one of the things they talk about, right? But then they said the next layer down is obviously brown people, right? So obviously Asian, whatever. Yeah. And then it's white people. But white people's white skin is developed in such a way that we manufacture vitamin D as long as we're not inside, which we're locked up now, right? Now, there's a lot of things in this video that I really want people to go and watch. And considering that there has been these, I don't know, people talking about, you know, why is it that black and Asian people have been significantly adversely affected by COVID? It's because they're poorer. It's because of this. Because what these guys are showing is a correlation there, and giving you a scientific correlation and potential causation of why it is. Right, but why this is important and why I'm mentioning this, I thought this was a fantastic video. If there's anyone in our audience that is black, brown or white, go and have a watch of this and you will understand how important vitamin D is to your immune system, right? Now, that's the first thing to say. Are you all aware, again, in Northern Europe, that Sweden has had no lockdown policy, people in the high street, everyone's talking to each other, they're going to restaurants, pubs are open, etc. Can I also tell everyone this? Whilst there isn't a significant difference, there is a lower, and there is what they're describing as herd immunity. One of the other major factors in Sweden, and I didn't know this until I watched this video, was they fortify their milk mandatorily. So it's government mandate in Sweden. They fortify the milk with vitamin D, right? Now, I never knew that. So what they're saying is there's studies done on vitamin D, and then when you start to look at some of this other stuff from Dr. Zev, etc., I just want everyone to understand. And by the way, as you get older, your skin gets less, and it's less able to convert the sun into, and there's other reasons for it which they go into, right? So they then said, by the way, in France, and by accident it was, there was a whole care home for the elderly, right? And the matron, the manager of that care home, fought as a matter of principle, because they was older people, ensured that all of them older people within her or his care home were given daily doses of vitamin D, right? And the instances of COVID were lower and the death rate was significantly reduced. And they looked at that and said, what are they doing differently to what other people were doing? And what they said was, well, we give them vitamin D, right? So there's lots of things, and what I'm going to do now is stop. I'm not going to go into the video. I'm hoping people have just found that interesting, what I've said.
Yeah, we've covered it many, many times on this channel. The importance of vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. And then I changed vitamin D to vitamin D3. I will show you your point too. By the way, anybody of color, especially with darker skin tones, they're not telling you either about vitamin D deficiency, because your skin naturally kind of can repel it because of its tone here. And we're not doctors, and I'm not giving any medical advice. I'm just going to show you a video of a nurse in Nashville. That's freaking disturbing.
Story, please listen.
Hi,
I am a registered nurse in Nashville, Tennessee, and my name is Kalila Mitchell. I'm reaching out to everyone about the COVID-19 vaccination. I recently took the COVID-19 vaccination. After the shot, I felt fine, but within 3 days, I went to the doctor because I had problems with my face. The whole left side of my face, actually. I have Bell palsy now. And as you can see, I can't smile. I'm trying to smile. I'm just kind of embarrassing for me. But I just want everyone to know that I think this vaccination is the worst thing ever. And I would not give this to anybody, even my worst enemy. Please, America, they do not care about us. Do not take this vaccination.
And come at me, YouTube. Strike me for that one. That's how you feel. You silence a woman, and then another woman of color. Go for it. Because I'm done. I'm not going to keep my mouth shut. When I see these videos come out of these poor people that take this crap, and then the media buries it. I thought that was our job here in platforms like this, was to bring awareness to it. Period.
Saw somebody in chat say, "Is that why Gates is trying to cover the sun and all that?" That's a smokescreen, folks. This program has already been going on for quite some time. It's just now that the news has actually caught up to it. If you follow anything like Geoengineering Watch, geoengineeringwatch.org, you'll know that chemtrails or cloud seeding or whatever geoengineering term you wish to use has been going on for quite some time. And guess what? It all links back to Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. You can trace the dollars. I've got plenty of articles in the archives that cover that. Matter of fact, I think I covered it as part of the hashtag Expose Bill Gates Day earlier part of last year. So yes, vitamin D does come from the sun. If you remember here the last time that there was any sort of epidemic or anything along those lines where hospitals were indeed inundated, one of the things they did at that time is they actually wheeled the patients out in their hospital beds outside. Why would they wheel them outside? To get vitamin D naturally from the sun. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know how to improve your immuno health. Nope. Be dumb, take the jab, get your certificate, and join the crowd.
Yeah, let me. Right, can I just finish off on one last point, and I won't harp on about this, but well done for Laura to show that video. One of the things that I will say is in the video that I've just put out there, it also talks about something something that is now used in a lot of processed food called corn syrup. Corn syrup is unnatural to the human body, right? And what they're saying is corn syrup interferes with the vitamin D process in all human beings. Black, white, brown, don't matter. And it reduces that. Just to let you know, people, that corn syrup is used extensively in fast food restaurants, and in particular, a certain clown burger. You do know what I'm saying. If you walk down the high street...
I don't give a shit you say McDonald's here.
Huh?
I don't care if you say McDonald's.
Right, McDonald's, basically. Their buns and a lot of their stuff, and especially their buns, contain corn syrup. And corn syrup is one of the things that stops your body from creating the type of vitamin D3 that it needs, just to let you know. So it is about diet, I mean, I don't particularly have a good diet, but I'm certainly making a New Year's resolution to try and eat properly. I don't really eat a lot of McDonald's, to be honest with you. When I was working, I did. But everything is coming back to me on remembering certain things. And there's another video out there called The Men Who Made Us Fat. and it's a video, and it was an English documentary, and it was about corn syrup, and it was about sugar. And if you go and watch that video, you will be absolutely shocked. So as a follow-on from that, by watching this video, they mentioned corn syrup, and that triggered me to remember the other video that I'd seen, which shocked me, which was literally almost a conspiracy. They didn't care whether it was harming people or not. They just said it's a byproduct of our corn, and we're going to make it into a sugar, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, it's actually high fructose corn syrup that you really have to watch for, DD.
That's the one. Yeah, that is it. That's exactly what it is.
It goes by HFCS on a lot of the labels on packages, regardless of what it is you buy. It's a simple sweetener and that they use, and they've tried to mask it by calling it a different name here in the last couple of years, because obviously people were on to their game, and so they've tried to rename it and throw you off with some other unpronounceable thing. But you're absolutely right in that there are documentaries out there that go into detail on how HFCS has come to be, why it's used. Think of here in these United States, the farmlands that we have, how much of the farmland is subsidized for corn production and everything else. It's got so many uses, whether it be fuel, whether it be HFCS production as a substitute for a simple sweetener for whatever the product. And then, and I'm not sure if it's in the same documentary, they get into what happened to the whole cane sugar production and how we used to use that. But obviously that folds into it as well, to where, because it's cheaper to produce corn and spin up HFCS, then of course, it's unfavorable for cane sugar, the true sugar that your body can handle, not the fake produced crap that's used, and voila, here we are.
Grow your own dang food. If I can grow eggplants and squash and all that shit on a deck in Detroit, Michigan, with no freaking yard, start growing your own damn food and find a local farmer that produces his own meat, and don't let it, like, I'm just saying, there's so much wrong in the food industry all over this planet that that you don't have to look any further than that. If you think these people aren't mocking everything that they're doing right now and have done for the last 300 years, they throw it in your face. This is Wuhan. This is New York. This is Wuhan. This is New York on New Year's. And what was this evil son of a bitch doing that told everybody they had to stay at home? He's out here by himself dancing. Remember, he told everybody else they had to stay home, but his entitled, elitist, superior ass is out here on the stage when no other New Yorker can do it, and he's out here making a mockery of it. This is pitiful. This is New York City on New Year's. So yeah, there's that.
You know what I like in that scene too? Nero fiddling outside as Rome burned.
And then
just in modern day.
Because I'm on this ass because of what she's doing in DC. The freaking mayor goes and promotes this damn 5K walk. Look, these are the pictures she posts, retweets on her damn Twitter feed. Look. Nobody's arresting and bashing her. She posts 2 pictures. Look at her.
Yeah.
They're not out here. Oh, she's posting their pictures. Look at this dude. Something missing? There ain't even one hanging from his chin. Look at this chick. Something missing? Nothing around her neck. They're mocking every one of us because none of them freaking believe it. And I want to say one more thing. Why in the hell is everybody talking about, oh, testing? Everybody's testing. Oh, this test is showing all these positive cases. When we have known this whole time that a test is a bunch of shit. Are you going to go get a cancer screening when you know this cancer screen is faulty and doesn't freaking work half the time? Or you can go test a Coca-Cola bottle that comes out positive, or a piece of fruit, or a daggum, I don't know, minks. They're going to test positive for COVID, and you're still going to use that test to test people? It's in everybody's face. That's why they're shutting it down. That's why they're trying to silence everybody. They're using a test that's been proven to be a bunch of shit. The inventor said it was used for this purpose. They're magnifying these particles that they're squabbing out of your brain, going up to your nose cavity by 400, billion parts?
Yep.
Wonder why something might is positive that doesn't have it. If you've had a cold or a flu, which is apparently non-existent, so now you can test positive for COVID if you have the flu. It's flu season. Wonder what happened to the fucking flu. Sorry, it irritates my ass that there's that people that are go on YouTube, and that guy I showed you earlier that went to that car show did a damn show 2 or 3 days earlier where he was reviewing Karen videos, and they were yelling at this lady in a store for not having on a mask, and he goes on air and says, well, y'all just need to make everybody happy, and y'all need to put on your mask. How difficult it is to put on a mask. Fast forward 3 days at a damn car show and look at him on his video. Did he have one on? So stop using your platform to push out propaganda that you know nothing about, or belittle people because you think you're so righteous. Or tell people that giving away this little right won't amount to anything. Well, look at what they do with it. You've got de Blasio dancing around on a stage in New York all by himself, all happy and go lucky. I guarantee you he's not staying his ass at home. It's like that, what was it, that mayor or governor, whatever, that was tweeting out about, everybody, we're still in the thick of it. Just do 6 feet apart and wear your mask, from Cabo San Lucas. He was sitting on a beach somewhere with his family, telling everybody else they need to stay home. They are laughing about it because everybody's just buying into it. Oh my God. Wait, what did that video you saw earlier breaking? I wish I could find it. Where this damn, she couldn't be no more than 16, 17 years old, standing in an elevator, losing her mind because the delivery person that was there delivering food to somebody got in the elevator and flipped out on her because she said she didn't have her mask on right. That's what happens when you tell 16-year-olds they can decide what gender they are at 4 years old, or that, that they don't have to listen to their parents and all this other shit. You get little self-entitled brats that now, at least they had their parents, their dad coming home, putting his foot up your ass, and now they're threatening the dads and saying they're going to throw them in jail if you tell your 16-year-old daughter she can't go get knocked up. There's nothing wrong with society right now.
Well, actually, I've got one thing that I want to finish off of. If anybody out there knows anyone in India, personally knows people in India, let me know, will you? Because I want them to do me a favour.
Well, Carl Rock lives in India. He's a YouTuber that exposes scammers.
Who?
Karl, last name Rock. He's a YouTuber. He does videos all about India. He lives there. He tries to expose scammers. That's another thing, by the way, guys, I pay attention to is people that call America trying to scam old people. But he lives over in India, I believe. You look him up on YouTube. You probably get in touch with him. He might be, I don't know what you need, but he might be willing to help you.
K-A-I-A.
K-A, R as in Robert, L as in Lincoln. Rock is in, skipping rocks across the lake. R-O-C-K. Mm-hmm. So I watch everything. Like I watch the scammers. The new scammer thing is now they're calling people. They do the internet jazz where your internet's broken. They do the IRS scam. Now they're doing the thing with animals where if you see an ad on Craigslist for a cute little puppy, you call and it's somebody over in one of these countries that are oh yeah, but you need to put your down payment first and we'll send you all the information. Now they're using that tactic, selling non-existent puppies. They're horrible. And they really make me mad. Do what? Yeah, I can't handle the preying on the old people. It really pisses me off. But what were you saying, Daddy?
No, that was it. I was just going to say I'm going to now be off because I'm...
You can't be off yet. I gotta end with happiness on a positive note. Give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna show you this. Okay. One more thing. This is freaking funny. See, I try to mix it up. Look at this is all from my Twitter thread. I post serious stuff that make me mad about a mayor, and then I post stuff like this, which is flipping hilarious. They're walking down that aisle and he's scared her. Like this, the timing is perfect. He has the timing down. It's funny. That's what I mean out there, guys. About I don't mean don't pay attention. That's all we've been doing. I just mean laugh a little. Remember to laugh a little. Remember read your Bible. Remember to go, and listen to someone that's actually reading from the Bible. Try that. Because there was a guy I was watching last night. Can you remember his name, Breaking? I subscribed to his channel, but he's a pastor in Knoxville, Tennessee, and he's really, really good. I'll try to find him really quick. But he's a good. Oh, yep, here it is. This guy right here, he's a pastor in Knoxville. He actually reads from the Bible. He does really good 20-minute sermons. If you need a little this in your life, I'll give y'all this as well. I'm telling you, look, I'm not lying. Look at my list over here. I'll show you. Let's just look at my list of all the people I'm sub there, and they're all kinds of people. Gaming channels. This is the symbolism stuff. I mean, you name it. I mean, there's an eclectic patch of YouTubers here over on this side. I promise you. I try to mix it up. When I feel a little defeated or a little sad or whatever, I get out of it. I go watch something that makes me smile. It's good for the soul. And it's good to hear the word of God every once in a while too. People don't pray enough. I talked to, I think, Breaking about this as well the other day. And I'm just going to be honest right now. How many times has somebody ever asked you and said to you, hey, there's something going in my life. Will you pray for me? And how many times do you say, oh, yeah, I'll pray for you, and then you forget or you don't do it? How many times do you do that? Be honest with yourself. You ain't got to tell me the truth because you live with yourself. I don't live with you. But how many times does that happen? Where you'll say, yeah, I'll pray for you. And then it's just words that float out of your mouth and you really don't do it. You really don't do it. So imagine all the times that, you should have been praying and remembering your prayers and thanking God for the things that you do have. And not always just loading him up with the things you wish would happen, but thank him for the things you do have. Be grateful for what you do have. Because we are still in a sense of a word, especially here in America. I said this on Wednesday. We are lucky. There are people in other countries that are really going through it right now worse than we are. And Daddy Dragon is a prime example of that. We're pushing back and stuff here, and they're trying to there, but there are people even like Gran Torino that lives over in Ireland, and that freaking Ireland, that's rough over there right now. South Africa, I could just go through the list, but anyway, that's it. Wanted you to laugh. There's the link to that. If you ever need somebody, I think he's pretty good. But I'll find your own. Don't take my word for it. Go do it yourself, or find who you like, cheers you up. Watch some kitten videos. I don't know. But don't forget to pray and be thankful. Yeah, I'm sure God hears many prayers of people asking for a lot of things. I wonder how many prayers he gets for people are just grateful that they lived another day. And that's it. That's my Sermon on the Mount.
Well done. Amen to that. And that's
I gotta get ready. I gotta get ready. Hang on, you can't do it yet. Hang on. I gotta get my command in here.
Breaking ain't so quiet.
He will. Okay, now I'm ready. Breaking.
Okay. Bye-bye. See you later.
All right, Daddy.
Bye.